This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. It's Wednesday today, which means we're doing a Learn My Licks video, and this week it's, I suppose, a little bit different in that it's not really a specific lick that we're looking at, or type of lick. It's how I use licks in a solo, how you can structure a solo using licks in a more efficient way, hopefully in a more efficient way, and therefore get the most mileage out of the licks that you've got, to basically avoid that nightmare scenario. And I'm sure we've all faced it from time to time, when you're halfway through a solo and you've blown it all, you've played everything you know, and what do you do now? Well, hopefully what we're going to look at today will help you avoid that particular situation. So here's a little bit of a solo that I recorded earlier, where I'm basically using a particular type of structure in the solo to get the most out of the licks. See if you can spot what's going on. And if you spotted it, all well and good. If not, well, here's a bit of an explanation about what I was actually getting up to in that solo.
Lick explanation.
Okay, in essence, what we're talking about here is repetition, playing the same lick multiple times, which allows you to A, get more mileage out of the lick, and B, if you repeat something, it makes it sound familiar to the listener, and therefore familiar tends to equate to sounding memorable. Many people are nervous about playing the same lick multiple times because they think it'll make it sound like, well, that's all you know. That's, you've kind of run out of ideas, so you're just playing the same thing over and over. And it's true, a lick will outstay its welcome if you overdo it, but you know, all it takes is a little bit of variation to keep it sounding fresh and still, as I say, sounding familiar and therefore memorable to the listener. So as an example, I mean, take that little solo from earlier. I think I started off with that, okay? And then the next lick I played was basically the same thing again, but with a different ending. This is also a good opportunity if you're kind of switched on and clued up enough about chord tones that you can sort of start thinking in those sort of terms. So for instance, when I went like that, that's the note I'm going to in the end, that C note, which is in the F chord that the backing track has arrived at by then. So thinking in terms of chord tones like that is another thing that you can do, but it's not essential. It's a nice bonus if you can do it, is what I'm saying. So, you know. Then what else can you do? Well, you could basically take a little bit of the lick and repeat that. So I think after those pair of phrases there, what I went was something like this. Like that. So that's just part of the original lick. So couple of times through that, and then just take a fragment of that. Just those two notes there, and hit the bend. And then you've played 8 bars of solo out of one lick. There's another form of repetition you can use as well, which is to think in terms of, well, what is a lick made of? What is any musical phrase in any piece of music made of? It's made of some notes that are played to a specific rhythm. So why not take the rhythmic aspect of it and populate it with different notes? So let's have a look at the rhythm for this. It goes da 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 da. Okay, so let's go da 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 da. You know. It's a familiar sound. If you've got this already in your head, then this will sound familiar but different. Okay, it's a really kind of useful little trick to have up your sleeve, to be able to think in terms of reproducing the rhythm with some other notes. And then, of course, you can go on and do all of the sort of vary the ending, take a fragment of it, and, you know, kind of all of that kind of extrapolation that you can do from that, you know, from that new version of the lick. Oftentimes what will also happen is that one of these little variations may suggest itself as the seed of a new lick idea. So something like that. So, you know, I ended up kind of coming up to like that at the end of whatever it was I played before it. And then, you know, probably it'd be easy with a backing track to show this, but basically just that ending of that lick sort of suggested, oh yeah, I could maybe kind of start a new idea off that, then do all the stuff we've been talking about. You've now got a new lick that you can, you know, change the ending of, take a fragment of it, you know, take the rhythm of it, and so on. And the final really effective way of using repetition, I find, is to make sure you keep a good kind of note of what that first lick was, like that. Okay, because if you return to that lick at the end of your solo, as I think I did in that example earlier, going back to your first lick as you conclude, as you come out the solo, it gives a real sense of coming full circle. It feels like, you know, you've kind of you've started off, you've developed a theme, you've gone somewhere with it, and then you've come back and resolved it to back where it started again. It's a very sort of satisfying way of finishing a solo, I think. So there you go. That's just some little tips on how I use repetition in a solo. Now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. And as usual, there is a full tab for that little mini solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and a jam track for you to play along with for yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these extra bits and pieces and goodies and resources that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive heartfelt thank you, as always, to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are also linked downstairs in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and somewhat informative in whatever small way that might be. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like while you're at it. Don't forget, as always, the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk about music and guitars. What a great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.